computer, tablet, and smartphone. Watch ESPN. It's the other way to watch ESPN. Go to FiosTVOnline.com for more details. Back at Connetquot High School, they're ready for a whiteout. They hope it leads to a win as the Thunderbirds host Bayshore. With Scott Green, Ralph Bednarczyk, let's get you ready for this one. First up, our starting lineups: Lassiter, Jackson, and Wright. At the guards, Farmer and Irvin, huge front line for Bayshore. Connetquot, much smaller: Higgins, Peavy, McNally, with Baker and Terence Thomas up front. The head coaches both very accomplished. Gary Williams, in his 4th season coaching Bayshore, played his college basketball, ending up 2 years playing at USC out in Los Angeles, and was a big star also here in the high school ranks, 2-time Suffolk County Player of the Year. And Bob Drizel, 22nd year. They may not be a better tactician around Long Island than Coach Drizel, coaching Connetquot. We look ahead to this game with our Verizon 411 keys to the game.
Well, for Bayshore, it comes down to shot selection. They have the bigs inside. They're going to have to establish the paint right away, show that they can control the boards. Connetquot, they got to defend the block, to double up on down low, and they got to recover in defensive transition.
Our officials doing the honors: Ron Heft and Glenn Coble. Bayshore will be in the road maroon over maroon unis. Connetquot home white on white with a red trim. The two teams split the series last year. Connetquot swept Bayshore 2 years ago when Connetquot was only a 7-11 program. But now the Thunderbirds off to a great start, as we told you in the open, Scott. 6-3 after graduating 3 starters. When I started my research, kind of took me by surprise, but then again, you think about Bob Drizel as their coach, and he always somehow finds a way to make his teams better. As this ball by PV is saved, and a turnover on the first possession by Bayshore.
Well, I'll tell you what, one thing before we can get started here, Ralph, this is a great atmosphere for high school basketball, especially during the week. But yeah, Coach Drizel knows how to get the most out of his Connetquot players.
Baker missing a chippy left-hand layup off the good back cut. So be used to seeing a lot of that, and now we get 2 turnovers. And Gary Williams, in talking to him today, coach of the Marauders, their biggest area of improvement, their Achilles heel, has been turnovers. They're averaging almost 20 a game despite their size and talent.
And even in that victory against Central Islip last week, they had 20 turnovers. He thought it was just amazing how you can get 20 turnovers against one of the top teams on Long Island.
And still win the game, too.
And still win the game by 20.
PV, tough shot, rolling off, and the rebound cleared inside by Jarrell Irvin, 6'6" senior center for Bayshore. So here's Lassiter. So much on his shoulders to keep the offense flowing and not turning it over. Lassiter, his first shot is a jumper that goes down.
Well, Bryson Lassiter, you can't give him an open look. He'll knock it down on you, and he could do it off the dribble, and that's what makes him such a special player.
And Lassiter coming back off the injury, losing a big junior year of recruiting, as PV takes it and ties it at 2.
Well, you know, Coach Drizel told us if Bayshore comes out in a man-to-man, it's going to allow him to spread the floor and get some good basket cuts.
On the pull-up, Jason Wright, that doesn't go. And look at Irvin in the air, and we get the tie-up, the arrow going. Back to Connetquot. Jarrell Irvin, first full-year starter, has had a big season, the heart of this Bayshore team. But as Bob Drizel said, we are really good at gang rebounding, despite having their tallest player being about 6'2".
Well, especially when you're going against Bayshore at 6'6", 6'5", 6'5", you're going to have to do more than gang rebounding. You're going to have to put bodies on people every possession.
And Connetquot turning it over. Terence Thomas looked in the corner for point guard James Higgins. So a 2-2 game, 2 minutes in. Suffolk County League 2. Everybody's just trying to keep pace with Northport and not let the Northport Tigers escape with the league crown before it's even February.
Well, Northport really emerged this year with their size, and you know, Bayshore is one of the teams that came out in the top 5 on Long Island and won a few games and then lost a few games, and you know, they just have so many weapons.
Devin Farmer on the pull-up. Bayshore with the lead, and Connetquot, a team that can shoot a lot of threes. That one no good though, off of Nick McAnally. Again, right to the basket. He gets this one to fall. Rather, Devin Farmer on the sweeping right hook. And Farmer with consecutive baskets.
Devin Farmer, outstanding ball player, 6'5", so versatile.
Baker defended by Lassiter. Terrence Thomas outside. Thomas on the drive, he'll take it down.
Wow, he had the wide open lane, and boy, he just saw it. He went to the rim and he flushed it, and the crowd loves it.
Decibels in Bohemia here. Irvin overpowering Thomas to the baseline jumper and air ball.
And I'll tell you, the crowd has got to be getting on Bayshore right now. And so Connetquot, after coming back from one of those, they need to follow up with a basket, not this time.
McAnally's missed his first 2 threes. He's their leading three-point shooter as we get the travel on Farmer.
And you know, you can see a little bit why Bayshore gets so many turnovers. They play very quick and very frantic. But I'll tell you what, this is frantic. When you get down the lane and you flush it like that, now that is a high school dunk at its best. And he just took him first step and nothing but the rim.
Bob Drizel says Terence Thomas, his junior, has been playing exceptional. Was a nice role player last year. Here's a 3, that's well short. Batted right back though at James Higgins. Higgins, same spot. 0 for 2. Thomas on the follow, flying in.
Wow, what an athlete this kid Thomas is, only a junior at 6'2". He's got so much versatility, and he gets up in a hurry.
Early shooting numbers there again is Devin Farmer. 6 out of the 8 Bayshore points.
Well, I'll tell you, Devin Farmer reminds me so much of his dad, who played at Bayshore back in the late 80s, early 90s. And boy, he just the same type player, same type look.
Thomas, this time off the window, and he's got 6.
And I'll tell you, I don't know if there's a kid on the Bayshore squad right now that can still go toe-to-toe with Terence Thomas with his quickness.